who's come over from Australia, obviously you went to Newcastle.
Yes.
Well, looking at it from the outside, what was your experience there?
The experience in Newcastle was amazing. Like you had everything. Like Newcastle had everything for what the fans want. Like you had the pubs and the clubs, literally walk out, cross the road, you're in a pub or club straight away. And after the game, or if you do want to watch what game that was on, you knew where you could go. And it was just a great experience. And then obviously you had the fanfare on the outside as well. Everything was close together. It was amazing. Like I can't talk it up anymore. Like that's all I can say. It was amazing.
Yeah, just quickly, obviously we'll just move a bit. The NRL basically tried to copy the Magic Weekend. For me, it looked a bit of a farce, to be honest. I think there was one game on a Thursday, and I don't see how one game could be getting fans together when it's just two teams. But what was the experience like in Australia? Did you think it worked or?
Okay, me personally, I didn't like the Magic round in the NRL. Obviously, what's so magic about? How can, if I wanted to go watch every game at Magic round, my boss would have to give me Thursday and Friday off. Then I have to take the Monday off as well. And no one's going to do it. And another thing is, fans didn't stick around to watch. Yeah. Where the fans here in England, when I was at Newcastle for Magic Weekend last year, the fans stuck around, even if their team weren't playing. And it was awesome. But you don't get that in Australia.
Do you think has it got legs in Australia, the Magic Weekend concept? Think they can nail it into maybe 4 games Saturday, 4 games Sunday, like what we do here with the 16-team league? Or?
There's plenty of room for improvement, and they could probably do that. But again, it all comes back down to their TV contract.
Yes, okay.
Because obviously the TV networks actually have the right for the games because they're the ones who pay the big money.
Yeah, I do think what you said about Newcastle, I think that's why Cardiff was successful. I think the idea that it's city centre ground and you can go in, you can go out. I think that means the Etihad is a bit far out of Manchester. I think they've kind of solved that okay. It wasn't too bad, but
bad. I think Newcastle is just the perfect venue. Yeah. It's made for it. You know, as you're driving, well, if you drive into Newcastle and you look at the sort of city skyline, you've got St James Park right at the top. It dominates the skyline.
You know what I mean? It really does.
It's so central and so near to everything, like Trev said. That it's just the perfect venue. You know, you've got fans that can get hotels in the area. Yeah. Like you said about the pubs, you can go out, have a pint, come back in. You know, it's just the perfect venue, and Newcastle enjoys it as well. You know, all the I've been in a few taxis, you know, during Magic Weekends in Newcastle, and the drivers who don't know much about rugby league, you know, they're all, you know, Geordie Newcastle fans and that.
Yeah, like myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But you know, they really embrace the whole weekend and the whole event. They think it's bizarre that fans from 12 different clubs can come together and all be civil and social, but they love it.
We'll move on to the fixtures. Last season it was first against third, second 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 9th against the promoted side, which was this season. I think you've had a look. So this season that would mean
right. So that if we were to go on if this season, if we were to use the same system as they did to decide the one back in May this year, we would have Saints v Salford, we'd have Wigan versus Warrington, we'd have Castleford versus Hull FC, we'd have Catalans versus Leeds, we'd have Huddersfield versus Hull KR, and we would have Wakefield versus Toronto.
Wigan Warrington again.
I know, yeah.
There was a time they never played it, match. Now they never seem to be away from each other match.
That's what the fixtures would look like if they went off the same system.
Yeah. So I take it you would you change that? I mean,
I would. I always really... The one thing about Magic Weekend which always stood out to me was that it was an extra derby weekend. Yeah, okay. I think if you're looking at the regular season, if we take away Magic for a minute, and you're looking at the regular season, when those fixtures first come out, the ones you really look for as, I don't know, a Hull fan or a Leeds fan, is your derby game. You know, whenever Leeds are playing Cass or wherever the Hull derby is, or if it's Wigan v Saints, etc. You always look for that, you know, for the derby games against your rivals. And for me, Magic Weekend was like an extra guarantee that you'd have another game with them. You know, we've seen some superb matches over the years. You know, in Hull derbies, Wigan Saints, Leeds Bradford, exactly. You know, we've seen some superb derby matches, and if it was down to me, that's what I'd change it back to. So look, I've written up some examples. So you'd have obviously Saints Wigan, the Hull derby. I think you'd have Leeds Castleford. Yeah. You'd have Wakefield Huddersfield. I think Salford Warrington, which I think is made even better by the fact that how Salford won this year and been up there with Warrington. Yes. And then finally Catalan v Toronto, the two expansion clubs.
But there used to be a bit of rivalry between London and Catalans.
They did,
This would just fall off of that. I think there was a whole derby the year that you were there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, last year was the whole derby.
Because there wasn't one last. That's right. There wasn't one this year. With Hull Care played Salford, didn't they?
Correct. Yeah.
And Hull played Huddersfield.
Yes.
How did you? I mean, that for me is usually the best game there. How did you find that? What do you think?
It was a pretty good game. Obviously, like I'd love to go to a derby actually in Hull, but that's the next best thing. And having both fans at each other all game, then afterwards we're singing Sweet Caroline in the pub, like, you don't get that anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of missed the whole derby last year. I don't know about yourself. I think
likewise.
I
think it's sort of the showpiece of the weekend, somewhat.
I don't blame the RFL because I think we were all saying before, and maybe it's time that they both played somebody else. But
what I think though, what they should do with the whole derby, don't play it on the last day, play it on the first day.
Yeah, last game on the Saturday.
Last game on the
Saturday. Yeah, because they are notorious for leaving straight after that, which is fair. And we can't blame them. It's in the pay the money, it's their choice. So yeah, I mean that's what the guys think. Some people disagree about the derbies. Some people will go the way of Jack, but we'd love to hear what you think. Obviously, like the YouTube page and leave your comments and let us know what you think. Like I said, there's no wrong answers here. Cheers, goodbye.